Hello, Bradford City fans. I'm Gareth Walker, and this is my post-match reaction to Bradford City's defeat at Reading today in League One. I wasn't at the game. I've not seen the game. I've obviously spoken to people who were there. I've read the reports, listened to Graham Alexander's interview. I've watched the highlights, and it looks to be a bit of a mystery how we've lost that game in some respects, but also an issue with us bringing a defender on for an attacker as well has infuriated people when we're winning 1-0. I'll start with the team selection. Obviously, fans were happier at the start of the game to see that there were no real changes to the side that won at home on Tuesday night, and the only change was obviously Jackson dropping out for Ethan Wheatley. Obviously, Jackson looked like he went down with a bad injury the other night. He had his leg caught underneath the opposition player as they fell. The Rotherham player's sort of fallen on his knee, and it didn't look great, to be honest. So we're waiting to hear what the damage is there. Hopefully, it won't be out for too long. Graham Alexander said afterwards that he's waiting to see a specialist, and then they'll know how long he'll be out for. But it's going to be weeks at least. So that's a worry. But Ethan Wheatley came in. I believe Ethan Wheatley did reasonably well today with his pace and his press. I've been impressed with his pacing and his pressing when he's played this season, when he's played since he's come in. Obviously needs a goal, desperately needs a goal. Missed a couple of chances, had one disallowed when he didn't need to be for offside, when he didn't need to be offside the other night. So that's the worry with him. But I believe he had a reasonably good game up front. The other changes, there weren't any at all. I thought there might have. Obviously, City fans have been annoyed that there's been a lot of changes recently to teams, to winning teams, and I kind of understood why there'd been some changes, particularly the Sarcevic one, because you don't want to risk him getting injured. He seems to struggle to play back-to-back games, but even he started today, so the only change was the Wheatley one, and fans were reasonably happy with that. I believe the game as a whole, we were probably the better side for large parts of it. Played a reasonably good game, played how we've been playing at home, and were a threat throughout without creating too many chances. I believe a couple of shots from distance from Power, and then obviously the goal comes from Matt Pennington, 2-2, another shot from distance, screamer of a goal. And I believe, like I said, we were the better side and probably deserved to be 1-0 up. But we've not seen the game out. Graham Alexander has got to the 89th minute and he's taken Bobby Poyton off and he's brought Joe Wright on, put an extra defender on. We're 1-0 up on that at that time, 1 minute left heading into injury time, and then we go and concede 2 goals in injury time. And that's really, really frustrating, really, really infuriating. It's a mistake that we seem to have made before. We did it at Peterborough away earlier in the season. We brought a defender on and conceded straight away. Obviously, it harks back to the Mark Hughes days of the sub at Carlisle in the playoffs, Matty Platt sub for Scott Banks. It just seems to invite pressure. I don't know if it causes disorganisation at the back. Who's picking up who's responsible for what. Graham Alexander did say afterwards that when he made that sub in the 89th minute, the last few minutes, we lost our press on the ball high up, and that's because we're a man down up front. The forwards aren't putting the same pressure on, and you're susceptible to balls into the box. Having said that, you've got the extra defender on, and you should be able to deal with it. The first goal comes from a poor header from Matt Pennington trying to clear it. He flicks it on behind and Paddy Lane smashes one in from a narrow angle to make it 1-1. The second one, again, it's a ball into the box we don't deal with. The lad Richie runs from distance, gets up above Torre and heads it down. It goes through Sam Walker's legs. Could Sam Walker have done better? Maybe. So yeah, it's infuriating that we've brought a defender on for an attacker and then conceded 2 late goals in time added on, having largely been the better side for a big part of the game. We would have been 13 points clear of Reading, and we were on 89 minutes. Now it's down to 7. Really infuriating, having put in a much better performance away from home than we've been used to away from home recently. All our better performances have been at home. We've finally put in a good performance away from home, and we've still managed to lose the game and throw 3 points away, really. So it's infuriating. I know that the players will be absolutely gutted, as the fans will be as well. We've got to try and take the positives from that and the performance as a whole and carry on where we left off. Next time we're away from home and put in the same performance, but without those mistakes at the end. We're obviously at home next to Leyton Orient, who are on a dire run. We need to bounce back with 3 points at home next Saturday, and then, like I say, somehow try and replicate the away performance, today's away performance away from home next time, because it doesn't sound like we deserve to lose, but we're our own worst enemy when you concede 2 goals like that, having brought a defender on for an attacker. Onwards and upwards with the West Yorkshire Football Show.